Hello, Debbie with Stitching here, and today we're going to work on the SweetPea Halloween Haunted House block of the week, bonus block of 8. So it'll be the ghost in the doorway, the monster on the stairs. So the first thing we do is stitch down our batting. I did raise my foot a little bit because it likes to drag the batting. And I've discovered that I can raise that foot for that part. That's all it needed for this part. And now I need to trim that out. Now we're going to do the background on. It'll tell you to cut the square out in the middle. I've been leaving it on. I cut it out of the first one. But after that, I quit cutting them out. It just gives an extra layer of stability, I figure. Or maybe I'm just lazy. But now it's going to do the wall, the wall tack down. Or tack down. Place. Wow, drink more coffee. Now it is going to do the wall placement. I've got this really close. If this is too close, just let me know in the comments. And this time I did put Wonder Under on the backs of my fabrics. It just helps it to kind of stay in place a little better. Not mandatory. Most of our blocks do not have it. Some people will tell you, oh, you have to do. No, you don't. I did applique when I was young, and never in my wildest dreams did I know there was such a thing called Wonder Under. I'm mostly self-taught when you get down to it. There. I bought me a couple of pair of inexpensive ones so I could use them for trimming out. I thought I would see if that was a little easier. It's actually, it feels like it's a little heavier, not a lot, but you know, like the metal's a little stronger, I guess is the word I'm trying to come up with. Yeah, it cuts pretty good. So I didn't want to ruin my other ones by constantly. So you trim around here and the stairs. That's the doorway. This time my doorway really will be black. The last time I made it pink. Oh well. Just being wild and crazy, I guess. I'll tell you, I did put tape on the floor to try to get you back in the same spot. I just like that better. Alright. So the next step is the wall quilting. That's what I call it. It's the lines in the wall. But basically your quilting is just sewing multiple layers together. we do the stair placement. I'm going to go ahead and change my thread so I can see it a little better. Just pay half, meaning you liked it. You know how to work metal. I'm going with a nice boring staircase in gray. I decided to make it look like they were carpeted with wood sticking out or something. I don't know. I just, because this is going to be bright, wait, oh God. This is my flooring. I know, it's wild, isn't it? It's a scrap left over. That was what I used on the inside of a bag I just made for my sister-in-law. She's like the only one that buys stuff from me. Oops, I've got it upside down. Her friend loved her bag. And it's funny because it's a pattern I had bought for the embroidery machine, but they just wanted it 1 inch wider, and can you put an extra pocket on the back? Okay. So I fiddled with this pattern I had bought and managed to create a whole nother back and stairs here. She picked those up last night. I used that money, well, I put it in the pot, you know, in the kitty, whatever you want to call it. But I said, you know what? I've earned enough money to buy myself a Keurig because I like a different kind of coffee than everyone else in the house. But when I tried to order the coffee, that I like the Starbucks breakfast blend. Well, I used to. I haven't had it in a few years because we make it by the pot here. When I was working, I put a coffee pot in my receiving next to my desk. I was the department head. There was only one, me. I love telling people, yeah, I'm a team of one. But the manager that made me the department head, that gave me that position, I mean, I was the only one qualified at the time it opened up anyways. Union job, went through the, you know. But anyhow, that manager told me I could put a coffee pot in there for the truckers. That way, when they came in on a cold morning, they could have a cup of coffee. My dad was a truck driver. And they would have a coffee pot there for the drivers so that they could replenish their caffeine before they went back out on the road. Of course, this was a long time ago. And yes, they had lots of laws, but they weren't quite as strict as they are now. And of course, they didn't have all those electronics in the truck and cameras watching them. So the companies would tell them to, yeah, most of the truckers had 2 logbooks back then. Yep. I mean, they would now if they, because companies don't care until you fall asleep at the wheel and run over a car full of kids. They don't care. Just get the job done. Pick up that load. Okay. So now it's going to do the stair rails. So that's the posts. Yep. All the posts on the legs. And I decided I wanted them white. So we're going to do that. Anyhow, as I was saying, they always had the coffee there, and I just felt natural to put a coffee pot in. And that's when I started drinking coffee. I was 57 years old before I started drinking coffee. But I can now again have my Starbucks because I can make my coffee. I'm very forgetful. And I just realized while that was stitching out, I never did tell you, there are 39 steps to this block. Next thing, we did the 8 was a stair rail post. 9 is a stair handrail. I've got brown down for it. Where did I? They're all sitting over here on my desk. Yes, we're organized. Uh-huh. Did the handrail. Now it's going to do the side edges of the steps. And then after that is going to be the stair treads. And I decided I would just leave the brown in for all of that. I probably should have gone with the darker brown then, huh? I think I will. I'm going to change my brown. That is one nice thing about having the single needle machine that you're using. It is actually quite easy to change your mind about colors. I just grab it and change it the first time. Now the next step is the stair treads, you know, the top part of your stair. And since I went with gray for the wood, I am going to change from brown. I'm loving this part, boy. I'm going to change from the brown to, I've got this greenish gray I actually bought by accident. But hey, those things happen. I was trying to get like a gunmetal gray, and you're looking at a picture on screen. So that's what I got, and I'm going to use that. It's something, you know, kind of gross, because it's a gross old house. Now, of course, you can use the same color for all of those steps, and it would eliminate some of your thread changes. I'm just kind of goofing around, having fun with it. Alright, our next step is the drips on the stairs. And I was going to use the green and decided I'm going to go with green glow in the dark. I need to test it out before I do that whole ghost in the glow in the dark anyways, because on the last block I was having difficulties with my glow in the dark. Really, you're just going to drive me nuts. Oh my goodness. One creates two, creates another. So this one's going to end up with a lot of glow in the dark in it. That's okay. Needs to be used, right? Okay, next step. I say okay every time. I'm trying to break that habit. It's the monster on the stairs, and I've decided he's going to be purple this time. I've been using the same color, and I don't know what to tell you, but they don't all come in the same color. Just like people, monsters have various shades. How's that? Besides, I wanted purple. I wished it would have done the little applique for his body so I could have used my glittery stuff, but we can't have everything. I sure am getting girly in my old age. Yeah, I've always had to be practical. Purple monster. I need to heat up my coffee. This is going to take 2 minutes. Now it's the white of the monster's eye, which I'm using glow in the dark yellow. Cut. Like I said, need to use up all these glow in the dark threads. They shred really easy too. This was just a no brand box I got online. Amazon, I think it was. It doesn't matter where I got it. But, I mean, they're sufficient. I'll only use them this time probably for this thing. Like I have said in other videos, we're not real into the Halloween. It's just the white part of the eye, which, you know, somebody tell me what that's actually called. I could look it up. I could ask Alexa, but she's mad and not talking to me. Yes. Just a couple of stitches here. I swear, at the angle, yes I do. The tail is longer than the space of the eye. Okay, and now it's going to do that tiny little gleam. I'm cutting and missing over and over again. Because the spider web I was going to do in the glow-in-the-dark gray, like I said, it's going to have a lot of glow-in-the-dark. And I'll just do that little bit of gleam with that also. That eliminates one threading for me. Otherwise, I think I would just skip the gleam. Put down a couple of stitches. That's all it's going to take. Yeah, didn't even get up to speed. Oh, so now it's going to do spider web in the corner of the room. That's step 17 on my list, okay? That's my list I'm going by. I'm not trying to tell you that SweetPea's instructions, that's the number for them. Let's be honest, I didn't even print the whole thing out. I printed out the cover and then did up a single sheet for me. Every week we're going to have another block. I started out with it all up, and then it cost me much. You ran out of toner? It cost me $14. I laid the printer and I said, so here, right in. Type it out, one sheet, that's done. Two sheets, technically, that's right there. They say next year Social Security is going to have an increase, which would be nice. I mean, it is our money. You could give it back. But they do like to dip into it, so wait, before I cut that, it's going to do the doorway placement and then the tack down. And it can be any color, and I got tons of this, so we'll just leave that in. Because the ghost is going to be... Well, I was going to use blue because I've yet to use it. But I can just use the gray, like the spider web. Doesn't really matter now, does it? Now that was the placement for the doorway. My doorway this time is black. See, I didn't mess up. If you have a problem with your fabrics moving around while it's stitching it down, just put a little tape on the corners to kind of hold it in place. I'm kind of bad about that. I don't tend to tape them down. Alright, I got a trim. I mean, that's not weird. I wonder if my Wonder Under is getting old or something. I mean, I thought I only bought it a few years ago, but you know how that goes. Well, you don't if you're not. Unfortunately, one day you're 35 and the next day you're 60. I was like, but didn't I just buy that? No, you bought it 10 years ago. You know, that kind of thing. So, who knows? I just know that, ow! I got things. This room is so tiny. I just hit my elbow. That's always fun. And it's not like it actually hurt. I got in the habit of saying ow when the boys were babies so that they would understand, you know, you hit somebody with a block or whatever, a toy, that you're hurting them. So I would, every time they did anything, I would go, ow! So that they would understand cause and effect kind of thing. And it's a habit I still have. And they're in their 30s. Oh, well. least they don't throw toys anymore. So I'm going to do my ghost in gray glow in the dark. I'll probably run out of that one first. You know what? Now, I can do this. That's the underlay, right? So it's going to have stitches covering all this. I'm going to change it because now that I'm seeing it, I'm not really liking it. Probably shouldn't drop to a whisper. You probably don't hear me. But there's just too much gray there. Gray on the stairs. I don't want any more gray. So I'm going to change this to the blue that I had originally planned, maybe. Yeah, why not? It hasn't been used. I mean, really, what do you need blue glow in the dark for? But it was in the kit. So we will find something to use it on. That. I don't know if all glow-in-the-dark spray as much, but this one really sprays a lot. I'm not even going to worry about backing up because, like I said, it's the underlay. It's going to get locked down by the overlay, the stitches on top. So I'm not going to worry about it. So just a few stitches to get those glow. Well, I'm not using glow-in-the-dark thread to get the red eyes. Now we will do, let's see, 22. Satin edge on the doorway, which I'm going back to black. I can't see the thread to cut it. It's time for the floor fabric, and we do that face down. You know, I think I made sure I left some space for folding so it would fold better. But I think I want it that way because it really is not going to take a whole lot of fabric. So I'm trying to get that seam so that it's before the Wonder Under. It just doesn't fold as easily with Wonder Under. And it really doesn't matter what color thread because it's not going to be seen. Now we fold it down. Try to crease that just slightly. Put a piece of tape on there and get it to hold that fabric down. Now it's going to do around the edge, and then we'll trim it. So I could actually get another room's floor out of this one. I might save it just in case I decide I want to do another room's floor. I'm taking that off, and now it's going to do the room satin. Oh, yeah. I just want to get as much of those loose threads out of there as possible before it does this satin stitch all around it. I saw one. There we go. So I need to change my thread colors before I got old to see how. So it's not computers that I destroy, it's everything else. This is going to take a while. I see a thread. I don't want it peeking through. Come on. So I will probably be, cutting this out, fast-forwarding, that kind of thing. Take 9 minutes. It has finished the room edge satin stitch. Our next stitch is the roach on the wall's legs. And then, of course, right after that is the body. And I'm going to use the same color for both. Of thread. Let me get these out of here. There we go. Whatever. Now it'll do their bodies. Okay, so it's a bone on the floor. Yeah, bone on the floor. We'll just double check there. Now it's going to do the puddles of slime. So I'm going to go back to that glow-in-the-dark green. I guess technically you can make it blood if you wanted. I went with the slime because it's coming down the stairs. I figured this was slime from that. I figured, think of it as he's going up the stairs and this is the trail he left. That was my mind set on it. Now it's going to work on the chandelier area. So our first thing is the candles to the back. I'm going to try that orange again like I did on the previous room. Let's hope it doesn't give me a hard time. I put it on the stand, not on the machine. I don't think these particular spools like the machine, so even though they're small enough to fit on the machine, they don't function well on the machine. Okay, we'll give her a shot. Do the back candle holders, which I'm going to use the gold again. Now the back of the ring of the chandelier is step 32. I was going to use black, but I've decided I just don't want black next to all that black. So I'm using the dark gray, but not the greenish gray. The next step is the front of the ring, and I'm using the same color. Step 34 is the crossbars in the chandelier. Again, keeping the same color. So you can eliminate a lot of your thread changes by using the same color. They just have it broke up so you have an option. So I could use black and now, as you see, around the candle holders, it did stitch with this color. So if you don't want these to be two different colors, you might want to use whatever color you're using for the ring and the cross, or at least whatever color you're using for the crossbars, you might want to use for your candle holder sections. I didn't write that on my list, and honest, I forgot. So I don't know that I care all that much. I don't think it looks all that different. It's now going to do the bar where it's hanging off of from the ceiling. We're going to... So if you're wanting it, the Christmas one, you will want to get to the side and look at it to get the sale price. Yeah, that's stitching out beautifully now that I put that thread on the stand instead of on the machine. That's nice. After the candles, we're going to do the rest of the candle holders. I'm going to go back to the gold. The next step is the outline on those tiny ones. The last thing to stitch out will be the flames on the candles or bulbs, because it looks like little circles. So technically you could do like little blobs of glow in the dark or something for bulbs. But I'm going to, since I made the candles glow in the dark, I'm not going to worry about that. I'm going to make them orange. It's not going to be glowing when it's up anyways. None of it is. You have to have it in the dark to see the glow. And I'll have the light on for the trick-or-treaters. You don't turn on your light, you don't get trick-or-treaters. Did that go through that time? Yeah. So we're going to do little flames on all the candles. All done. Here's my finished block. I think it turned out cute. They do have fantastic designs, don't they? And as always, this is on my blog. If you would like the thread list, ignore that phone ringing. We do have a landline. If there's an emergency power outage, your cell phones are gone, right? I mean, you know, the battery will die and that's that. So we keep a landline. But because of telemarketers, it's hooked up to my printer, which has a fax, so the fax answers. I don't get as many telemarketer calls as I used to. Also, you can access this in my Facebook group, Stitching. You're all welcome. Just hit that join button and we can talk about our mishaps, or you can help me through my mishaps. I would love to have someone to talk to about machine embroidery. This was my printout from Hatch so that I could see. I use my scraps and some of them are small, and this way I can make sure it's going to fit by doing that. The bugs show up real good in the printout, but unfortunately I didn't use a good color. They don't really show up on that yellow. I should have thought of that. On Thursday, that shows up real good. But that was our bonus block for week 8. Hope you enjoyed it. Please join me again. If you enjoy my videos, please hit the like, the subscribe. You know, even if you don't want to hit the like, hit the subscribe. Or hit neither. Just join me again next week. I would really love to have you here. Thank you. Enjoy your weekend. Bye-bye.